We're here traveling Albania by rental car, and in this video I'm going to take you to the mountains, to the beach, and everywhere in between. Stay tuned for the perfect itinerary of what you should do if you have 1 week in this country.
Our 7-day trip started in Tirana, the capital of Albania, as it will for most people. Since our flight landed in the evening, we stayed 1 night in the city, but didn't really have much time to explore because our rental car pickup was scheduled early the next day. For transit between the airport and the city, there's a frequent cheap public bus that costs roughly €4 per trip, which you can also pay by card. In Albania, it's important to carry cash, since not all places take card, but in most tourist places you can expect card to be no problem. We took out cash only once at the huge selection of ATMs right when we got out to baggage claim at the airport in Tirana. On the drive to our first real destination, we stopped in Kruje, a historical small town on a mountainside just outside of Tirana. It's known for being the place where the legendary resistance against the Ottoman invasion was based, led by the Albanian historical hero named Skanderbeg. The views from the castle ruins on top of the town are unmatched, and the bazaar just underneath is beautiful as well. We got some lunch at restaurant Alba just by the castle and can definitely recommend. The town was pretty busy even early in the season in late May when we were there. If you do come here by rental car, drive all the way up to the bazaar, but avoid the young guys ushering you to the left parking. Instead, choose the right one for cheaper prices and a more chill vibe. After our stop in Kruje, our journey to the Albanian Alps continued.
Welcome to a beautiful theth in northern Albania. Theth is one of the most famous destinations for tourists in the northern Albanian Alps, especially for hikers. The church behind me here is one of the main sites you see if you Google theth, but there's so much more to do. Going to see the blue eye is an absolute must if you do come to theth. If you're here by car, it's only like a 15 to 20 minute drive outside the city. Then it's another like 1 hour absolute picturesque hike up the mountain to see the blue eye, depending on how fast you are. The thing about theth is everywhere you look is beautiful. So in my eyes, even the drive to the start of the blue eye hike is an attraction in itself. If I were you, I would take some extra time hiking up to the blue eye. The area is so beautiful and there's so much to explore on the way, so don't rush it. The guest house we stayed in is called byebye and it's a bit outside of town. So it's a bit of a bumpy road to get there, but I would 100% recommend staying there. The area is beautiful, the hosts are so nice, and the food is delicious. Staying there, we spent around €130 for 2 nights, which also included dinner. Maybe you can tell there's a lot of construction going on in the background as well. Theth is definitely being intensely developed, and I can see this becoming a tourist hotspot in like 5 to 10 years. It's definitely already very well visited by tourists, mainly hikers, and as this area develops, I can see this becoming more and more appealing for a broader audience as well.
After one last amazing breakfast in the mountains, we left theth with heavy hearts. Just outside of Shkodër, we stopped for some amazing and affordable lunch, which gave us fresh energy for the rest of our road trip towards our home for that night, Berat.
Before we get to Berat, let me give you some insight on what it's like to drive in Albania. For starters, it really seems like renting a car is one of the best ways to explore the country. It just allows you to be very spontaneous, and renting cars here is cheaper than in other places. We paid €130 for a whole week. Don't get me wrong, if you wanted some more adventure, you could totally get by without. We've seen a bunch of buses traveling between cities as well, but you definitely have to plan in a bit more time and also some redundancy here and there. Albania is generally a very hilly country, so don't expect a lot of straight roads. Most roads are curvy and have inclines taking you through small towns. Expressways are rare. The road paving is inconsistent, and especially in rural areas, which is most of Albania, road markings can oftentimes be almost non-existent. Speed limits are notoriously very low and change very frequently. As a tourist, it's definitely better to stick to the rules, which will lead to some frustration with the locals, who drive a bit erratically and will overtake you often. And if you don't stick to the rules, at least in our experience, there's an insane amount of police on the side of the road flagging down cars, so watch out. Albanians get their car washed very, very often, and you'll see thousands of car washes along the road. Make sure to return your rental car clean to avoid any excess charges. One last info, while Google Maps is very helpful for navigation, don't fully rely on it. Some roads aren't accurately represented and the ETA is very optimistic, so always plan out more time than Google Maps tells you. Okay, info session over, back to Berat.
Berat, also dubbed City of a Thousand Windows, is beautiful. We only stayed 1 night and it's definitely worth a stopover. From our accommodation, Byebye, we took a hidden path up to the castle, which is more like a whole neighborhood on the mountain, and the views from up there are stunning. Apart from having some amazing lunch, we then explored the small old town streets on the hillside of Berat. Albanians are so nice, all of our hosts have been amazing, and it's definitely worth staying in a more family-run guest house, which you can find a lot of. Part of Albanian hospitality also often includes getting offered some homemade raki upon arrival, just so you know for all my non-drinkers out there.
We finally made it to southern Albania, the place most people visiting this country go to. Our accommodation here is absolutely stunning and in the most amazing location. Southern Albania is way more beachy and sunny than the north, but it's still very mountainous as well, as you might be able to tell from my background. From Dhermi, where we're staying, we took a day trip to visit two must-see places, the Blue Eye of the South and Gjirokastër. Honestly, driving through southern Albania is a highlight in itself. The combination of sea and mountain views are mind-blowing. The Blue Eye is a mountain spring where fresh water comes from underground, and the vibe is very surreal. Even though there's a lot of tourists, there's so much animal life just like buzzing around that you can enjoy on the roughly 20-minute walk to the Blue Eye. Just under an hour away by car from the Blue Eye is probably the most famous historical town of southern Albania, Gjirokastër. We didn't stay for too long here, but it's for sure worth a visit. The streets are beautiful and there's so many places to get cool souvenirs and some amazing food as well. Some last tips for visiting Albania that we've picked up throughout this week. Apparently tipping is not a thing Albanians usually do, but in tourist places it's sort of become a thing. Plus, with the low prices, I feel like being generous with tips is justified. There's only few to no instances of tourist treatment as compared to other countries I've been to. Prices are fair, not adjusted on the fly, and almost no one is out to scam you. Visiting Albania in 2025 is super interesting because you can tell that the infrastructure and tourist industry is still being heavily developed. Construction is everywhere and money is being invested. This also meant that we were super lucky with all of our accommodations. Each one of them felt newly built or renovated and were absolutely spotless. Sadly, our trip is coming to an end. We're headed to the airport in a bit. Until then, we're gonna enjoy the last taste of this amazing view here. Albania has treated us so well, and I would highly recommend visiting this country. The nature is stunningly beautiful, the people are so kind, and for now, traveling here is still very affordable. If you decide to come here, have fun, safe travels, and thank you very much for watching.